from Australia.
that we wouldn't have done. Those are things that younger generations can do.
One of the new practices that Drew and Aaron brought to the ranch, bale grazing. It's a way to improve the soil on this land that has been farmed for almost a century.
Bale grazing is really a regenerative practice. It's how we are taking hayfields that have been reaching the end of their productive period, and we regenerate them back into being highly productive.
The gogglers spread out bales in the fall that feed their livestock through the winter. At the same time, cattle are kept in smaller areas and rotated through different pastures every week or so. This means the manure they produce doesn't pile up and need to be hauled out. Instead, the cattle help fertilize the land by spreading the manure, just by walking around.
It's like mulching for a garden, but it's just on a larger scale.
We're not spending all of that time running the tractor, burning the fuel, and the cattle are working a little bit more for us and helping us accomplish our goals.
Cattle aren't the only livestock working to improve the soil. You'll also find another type of species, sheep. The reason?
Different livestock function in different ways.
The sheep forage and distribute manure differently than cattle, which improves soil health and forage production across the landscape. The manure and runoff produced by the livestock flow into slits that the gogglers cut into the land. It's called keyline cultivation, and it's yet another way the family hopes to make their land more sustainable. It's a way of farming once unfamiliar to many in this region.
Sometimes it takes time and input from the younger generation to say, hey, Ma, why are you doing that? And so just taking time to stop and think why we do things. People talk about us, and I think that's good. They watch what we do. Some support us, some think we're crazy, but that's all right. We do what we think is right and what works for us.
In order to stay in business, we have to consider what sustainability is and what that means on the resources that you manage.
For me, it's doing what's right for the land, but also doing what keeps you in business so you can continue to do what's right for the land.
It's a place that we all call home, and it's really nice that it's going to be handed down to another generation, and they're going to do the same thing we are, and hopefully take it beyond what we've done.
Yeah, I was going to say they won't do it the same.
No.
Maybe not the same, but the gogglers do believe that with the practices they're implementing now, their family will be farming on this land for decades to come.
That's it for this edition of America's Heartland. For more stories, full episodes, and recipes, visit americasheartland.org or connect with us on Facebook.
You can see it in the eyes of every woman and man in America's heartland, living close to the land. There's a love for the country and a pride in the brand in America's heartland, living close to the land.
America's Heartland is made possible by
Join us for Startup's monumental 12th season.
Imposter syndrome, self-doubt.
We were eating a no for breakfast. We were eating a no for lunch.
There's a lot of times I wanted to quit.
What an opportunity to do what you love for a living. It's so unusual.
This is Startup.
Welcome to Laura Flanders and Friends. the place where the people who say it can't be done take a back seat to the people who are doing it.
This is how change happens in this country, when vast numbers of people come together and defend a vision of the future.
If we do nothing, we'll be looking at apartheid in America.
Learning about the past has really no value if you're not going to apply it for a better future.
Live from London, this is BBC News.
Live from London, this is BBC News.
Live from London, this is BBC News.
Coming up,
we have to get through more and more people. This camp seems to grow every day.
Packed with people who've left their homes seeking shelter from the cyclone.
America's longest war.
Did you feel?
History's going to write this story.
It's now so difficult to predict what happens next.
BBC News.
But then the day came with the news that shook me to my core. You are a good candidate for a heart transplant.
I was finally going to be an independent woman in my motherland without my mother.
And so I pick up the card, and inside it reads, "Will you marry me?" And I think, not bad.
50 years ago, PBS NewsHour aired its very first broadcast.
Half a century later, we're still at it, guided by the same principles and mission.
Education has always been central to the Black freedom struggle.
For years, under America's system of segregation, Black Americans who wanted advanced degrees had to travel north.
For most of the 20th century, I should say, African Americans in the South did not have the opportunity to secure any type of higher education beyond the bachelor's degree.
Education was liberation.
Segregation scholarships on Local USA.
Another story, we were camping in Yosemite. So we opened the tent and we saw the bear and he was jumping on our cooler. And we had to just stand there and watch him eat all of our food.
Stories are sacred. We humans have been telling stories since basically forever, and we always will. Stories are important because they guide us towards a better future. Every time a new crisis came along, new problems needed to be solved. And so, new stories were created. Climate change is one of those crises. So what's our new story? My name's Charles Lloyd. My friends and I set out to find that narrative in California, hoping that what we learned would resonate everywhere. We began to grapple with the larger story of this place, and the journey forced us to confront the very nature of stories, how they change, and who gets to tell them. We began to see that the best kind of story is the one that's both true and empowering, the kind that reminds you of the beauty of the world, that reminds you of the power that you already have. So, this is an invitation to one of the greatest stories on Earth. Ours.
And action.
Climate California is brought to you in part by Crankstart, a San Francisco-based family foundation that works with others on critical issues concerning economic mobility, education, and the environment. And by donors to the NorCal Public Media Center for Environmental Reporting, including Jay Longfellow through the estate of Claire Etienne, Margaret McCarthy, and Stephen L. Smith.
Everyone knows that fossil fuels are a leading factor in climate change. But not everyone knows how prevalent oil production still is in California.
We wanted to see it for ourselves, so we hit the road.
Kern County produces about 80% of California's oil, as well as a lot of our food. We met up with Cesar Aguirre, a community organizer here. He let us tag along as he inspected oil wells, taking care not to trespass.
That flares on right there. You see that small flame coming out of that post?
But we didn't stay long.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back in the car.
Okay.
All right, security. Yeah, he was like, you're not going to police. So what just happened? We got pressed by private security, and that happens a lot. Sometimes it's when they're bigger entities, they have private securities that patrol. So we try to